payment, principal plus interest are as follows. And there's a complete breakdown provided to Parliament between 2023 to 2035, breaking down the principal, the interest, and the total loan. So if you look at the principal for 2023, it was about $1,029,000 in principal. Interest was $2.4 million, totaling $3.5 million approx. If you look at 2028, the principal will be $4.3 million. The interest will be $1.8 million, totaling $6.2. If you look at by the time we arrive by 2035, we're looking at $3 million in principal and $77,000 in interest, so $3 million by 2035. That's in about 11 years. How much does GEBE pay towards throughput fee? The throughput landing fee cost charged to Sol, destined fuel to GB, is in 2022 it was $1.6 million. In 2023 it was $1.8 million. This is dollars. In 2024, so 9 months, extrapolated to 12 months, it's $986,000. So we're looking at a projection at the end of 2024, $1.3 million. So it went from 1.6 to 1.8, and by the end of this year, 1.3 million. Note that the throughput fees were increased, again, I'm going to repeat this, by 0.4 Gilda cents in 2012 to 2014 in relation to the loan issued to the 4.4 Gilda cents per liter. As such, 10% of the above relates to the loan issued in 2012, which includes the Causeway. So in 2022, Causeway paid $164,000, 2023, $186,000, and 2024, $98,000. So 10% of that was the Causeway. I truly hope it's clear now. Does any other company pay for the Causeway bridges? No, no other company pays for the Causeway. The throughput levy system are 4.4 cents to the airlines via Sol and via airport, and 8 cents to the other bulk liquid fuel landed in KB. MP Otley asked, how much is the debt the port has, and what is owed for it, and how much does it pay for the loan in its entirety, and how much is the monthly burn rate? I provided a table again, and it shows that how the loan will be repaid in the next 10 years, and all current loans will have been paid in the next 10 years. So it's a big breakdown, but just to explain the burn rate, total operating expenses and interest expenses and principal loan payments of the port based on its 2024 budget amount to $49 million for 2024. So based on the port's current cash position, the port can meet all its commitments for longer than a year in a situation where it would have zero income. A natural disaster, such as a major hurricane, is externally insured, including business interruptions. So additionally, the projected net results are favorable based on their business projections, which will help the port to build additional reserves. This will make them further shock-proof and enable them to make key investment linked to the business continuity and business growth. Next, MP Otley asks, what is the annual maintenance cost of the Causeway? Who maintains it? What outstanding CapEx projects are still pending for TIAT, but particularly for the harbor? Considering the FCCA and its members are leaning towards LNG, what is the harbor's position on being able to offer energy-related service to the cruise industry? This can only save GEBE, but also generate the revenue. This is the opinion of MP Otley. The answer from the port is the expected maintenance costs for 2024 linked to the Causeway are estimated at $328,000. I think I'm assuming it's yearly. The Causeway is currently being maintained by the main manufacturer of the swing bridge and the technical components. Also, local companies and port employees carry out the day-to-day maintenance and upkeep. LNG is very much a discussion in the industry as an alternative option, and immediate solution, while the industry leaders further research and develop solutions that's not fossil fuel-based, such as hydrogen, methanol, or hybrid. These items are on the agenda to have further strategic discussions with the industry partners during the upcoming FCCA conference in St. Martin. That's next week. The transition to the renewable fuel sources and the ability to fuel power these vessels is a collaboration of several local stakeholders, including government and GEBE, amongst others. MP Otley goes on to ask, will a transfer of assets and debts from the harbor to the government help the port in any sort? Given the recent economic conditions, has there been any reevaluation to manage financial risks such as those posed by the natural disaster and pandemic? In discussion as VSR with the CDC, we can estimate that every 10 years we expect a pandemic. So the port has discussions regarding the recapitalization since 2016. The port has requested in the past a contribution in kind through the extension of its current water rights as well as the transfer of the Causeway Bridge. Next question posed by MP Otley. Is it still the interest of the Port of St. Martin to enter discussions with Global Port? The port is not intending to further discussions with the Global Port. Global Port is still active in the Caribbean and approaching many destinations. However, the port has maintained and improved its strategic agreement with cruise partners directly, and as such, maintains and appreciates the direct relationships with the cruise industry executive partners. MP Otley goes on to ask questions regarding the vending village. What is the vendor's village, and where is it at this moment, and where is it intended to be moved? So the vending village has been removed from the CapEx and is currently being worked on by the ministry to be presented again in 2025. The vending village was supposed to move the food vendors, right, across the street of Walter, not Pondfield, but Walter Nisbet, and they were going to move them by the mental next to Turning Point. That was the idea for the vending village by the Ministry of Theatre itself. Then MP Otley asked, my questions pertaining to the causeway. When Mintiat was here, a link was created based on the answers that this causeway bridge was built, which we all use. However, the throughput fee was initiated to pay the loans for such. And with this fee came the increase in fuel clause. What? No, okay, sorry. So I think I need to skip that. I think I'm just repeating something. Yeah, it's just a statement, I guess. It's not a question. I'm going to move over to another question posed by MP Otley. Update on the 10.4 acres land transfer to EDC. Does EDC still have ownership of this land? The EDC does not own the 10.4 acres of land the MP is referencing. This property is in long lease by the Port of St. Martin and sublease to SMQD, which is owned by the majority of Royal Caribbean Group. Next, I move over to questions posed by MP Myers. MP did not get an answer. Can you give me give me all the departure taxes from all the airports in the region, so St. Martin, Aruba, Antigua, Anguilla, St. Kitts, and Curacao, as requested by the MP Myers, a comparison of the departure taxes and fees and passenger charges across several Caribbean islands effective 2024. So, Curacao, total fees for international destinations are $64.47 with a breakdown that includes a passenger facility charge fee and for safety oversight and border security. Bonaire, their fees total $22.47, including a similar breakdown. Aruba, U.S. Customs, Immigration, and HPHIS fees are listed, totaling $67 for international travelers. Antigua, departure tax is 10% of their fare for all flights except those in Barbuda. Additionally, administration charges apply for flights depending on whether passengers are in transit. When it comes to St. Kitts, total departure fees is $37, which with airport charges and environmental levies included. When it comes to Anguilla, departure fees range from $20 to $67 depending on the passenger's age. When it comes to St. Martin, departure tax ranges from $42 international to $26 domestic, with incremental increases planned throughout 2029. What is the economic impact of power outages? What is the economic impact of power outages have on the economy and the business? So in the third quarter of this year, the ministry recognized the importance of conducting an economic impact assessment to evaluate the effects of the power outages on the economy and businesses. To achieve this, the Economic Census Survey was launched in August 2024, with fieldwork expected to conclude by the end of October 2024. Once the data collection is completed and the results have been thoroughly analyzed, the ministry will be able to present a comprehensive findings on the economic impact. We kindly request that the Honourable Member of Parliament allows the Department of Statistics and the Department of ETT to finalize these critical projects, enabling us to respond accurately to and inform with more insight. MP Myers went along by stating that there are loans. Sorry, someone is touching that. That there was a loan to the tune of $90 million to GEBE. And that it was not drawn out and that it was not received by finance. Is it possible to, I have this answer, I thought, 1 minute?
MP Myers.
Thank you, Honorable Minister Tiat. I also posed that question to the Minister of Finance, in which she said that the Prime Minister would answer, and he elucidated that he will send it in writing, so it's okay. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you for clarifying that to the Minister, MP Myers. Minister, you may continue.
Okay, then there's another one, same thing, but I still have an update on this one. I can answer this last question posed by MP Myers. When was the last time, over the last 4 years, what GEBE paid in, what did they pay in concessions to government, including 2017 to 2018, and the amount that was taken to GB? So a settlement agreement was made between government and GEBE during the tenure of the minister, I think it was then Minister Heerlings. The utility bills of government are offset with the concession fees every quarter. At year end, monies of the concession fees are transferred to government, and this transfer did not take place since 2021 or 2022. The offsetting of the bills is up to date. So by 2017, government owed GEBE $30 million in utility bills, and GEBE paid government $30 million. So the surplus at the time was 70 million guilders. That's the answer I received from GEBE. Then MP Kotai, next to move to questions posed by MP Kotai, that he echoes the sentiments on to, I think it was from MP Myers, and how are we prioritizing the beautification of Phillipsburg? The answer to that is that we're committed to we are committed to the revitalizing of Phillipsburg and making it a more attractive and vibrant area. As a first step, we are procuring the services of an urban planner to develop a comprehensive master plan that outlines strategies for beautification, increase foot traffic, and economic growth. Once the plan is finalized, we will implement a phased approach focusing on the infrastructure improvement, aesthetic upgrades, and target economic development initiative. Then MP Kotai asks, what is the financial status of EDC? And there was a director. What did he accomplish during his tenure? So the tenure of the previous interim director of the Economic Development Corporation, which is EDC, concluded July of this year. And during this period, the primary focus was on reestablishing the EDC, which has been inactive for a significant amount of time. Regarding the corporation's financial situation, reviews and assessments are currently being conducted to gain a clear understanding of its fiscal health. We are carefully evaluating the information to determine the best path forward for the EDC. And depending on the outcome, we might look into doing a financial audit. And my goal is to remain